Thanks for tuning in again. So today's video is about driving in the USA, and one of the things that a lot of au pair agencies do not tell you when you're planning on coming here. So when you're coming here to au pair, they tell you that you need to get an international license. Which is really easy because you go to DHL, you tell them you're traveling to another country, they ask you all the relevant information, and then they, give you the document. But then they don't tell you, what most agencies don't tell you, is that when you get here, there's certain states that need you to get a license for that, to be able to drive in that particular state. So for me, being in the Virginia state, I needed to get a license to be able to drive in Virginia and in Washington, D.C. Now this license, you have to do everything from scratch. So you have to do the learners, the written test, and also the driving test. I just came back from doing my driving test and I passed. Yeah, I passed. Anyone who has done their license back at home knows how much of a frustrating system and process it is already. So to have to come here and do it all over again is a bit, frustrating. But before I get into the tests, a lot of you wonder, like, how is it driving on the other side of the road, on the right hand side and not the left? If you're a fast learner, the switching part is not too difficult. So driving on the right hand side is like I won't lie, sometimes I'm like, I almost turn into the left lane and then I realize, oh my gosh, there's oncoming traffic. But the switch, you get used to driving on the right and not the left. The only thing for me is how the roads are structured. So the roads can be very confusing. There's some intersections where you're like, what do I do? So if you don't have your GPS, it might be a bit difficult, but that's also depending on the state that you're going to be living in. I'm in Virginia and very close to Washington, D.C. So driving in Washington, D.C. can also be very confusing, and a lot of people prefer to take the metro. I know also in New York, a lot of people prefer to take the subway because driving in New York is just a nightmare. Also, finding parking is sometimes a problem, and if you do, it's like really expensive. So that's just the driving part of it. Now with the test, there's a few apps that you can use to do practice tests. The written tests are pretty simple. It's more or less the same thing, just you need to learn the road signs. There are a few different road signs. Some of the colors are different to ours, but it's mostly basic stuff. The driving test was okay. I think I got someone really nice because we drove around and then we got back to the station and I parked my car and he explained to me that I had done 3 mistakes. It wasn't like hectic mistakes, but he explained to me that I'd done 3 mistakes, but still went on to tell me that, I had passed. And I guess he understands that I do have experience driving, so it's only normal that maybe in my home country, this is what I do, and here it's not the same. But one of them he explained to me was that when you're reversing out of parking, you first reverse straight, and then you start turning your wheel. What I did is when I was reversing, I immediately started turning my wheel, whereas you're supposed to reverse straight out first and then start turning your wheel. I was just thinking, guys, like, if I was back at home and this happened, it would have gone down a very different way. I would have been there in the car reversing the very same way that I did it here, and the woman would have been like, "Buyela sis, ma, paki moto yako." Okay. Yeah, ituime. Okay. Yeah, ufailile. Yebo, kanti you failed. How? How? Kanti awazi ukuthi reverse parking isebenza kanjani? Okay. Hamba ke uya endlini uyofunda ukuthi reverse parking isebenza kanjani, uphinde ubuye futhi ubooke enye test. I promise you, that's how it would have got if I was back at home. I know this because I did my license like 3 times before I got it. But anyway, that's all I have to say about driving in the USA for now. If anything changes, I'll do another video. But for now, thank you so much for watching, guys.